All my happy memories are outside. Just playing with your friends, getting up to no good. I can't even remember, I'm thinking right now, how did we climb these trees? But we did. We did. It was actually inside the cottages where the problems existed.
A life in care, dominated by people and institutions careless with his life. Writer Alex Wheatle was 3 when he went to live at the Shirley Oaks Children's Village, run by Lambeth Council.
I was constantly beaten with wooden hairbrushes, belts, pots, pans, anything this staff member could lay their hands on. And it was just a life of misery.
And then when he was 7, he says he was sexually abused too.
One of these people in the medical profession, they asked me to undress totally, pants, everything. And then I was assaulted. And well, in my mind, I wasn't even aware that I was assaulted. Because when you're 7 years old, you cannot comprehend that. You just think, this is an adult, they must know what they're doing. I remember freezing, you know, like being all rigid and what's going on, you know? And so that nightmare played in my mind for years and years and years.
He didn't tell anyone for almost 3 decades, eventually going to the police.
The sad thing is that the CPS, even though they had numerous witnesses, my peers, they decided that it wasn't in the public interest. And I felt, what about my interest? What about the interests of me and the people I grew up with? What about my interest? And that burned me, that really burned me over the years.
Alex Wheatle was just one of many children who'd grown up in care homes run by Lambeth Council who claimed they'd been abused. 3 inquiries were launched in the late 90s, 3 perpetrators convicted and jailed, but many others identified who escaped investigation. No one in the council lost their jobs or were moved. Lambeth is now one of many institutions which will be scrutinised in the government's child abuse inquiry, an inquiry Alex Wheatle has little faith in.
All I'm seeing is people in nice suits and expensive heels telling us, standing up in nice podiums and saying that they really care. I hear it all the time, I heard it all my life. We really care. But from my observation, no, they don't. Because why? I suffered 40 years ago, over 40 years ago. And yet these cases are still coming out.
Alex left Shirley Oaks when he was just 15 and drifted into trouble. He spent a short spell in prison after the Brixton riots. Life, he says, has been a constant struggle. And how have you survived?
Oh, I'm not sure. That's the honest answer to that. I'm really not. I mean, I've been fortunate. I managed to find my family. I have incredible friends, but for so many others, you know, it's been a tragedy. Some people that I know are unable to look after their own families. Some people cannot form relationships, and the list goes on and on and on. So this is why this is so important. You know, I've had friends of mine who took their own lives because of what happened in care.
Becoming a successful writer has helped heal some of the pain of the past. An MBE from the Queen accepted, he says, on behalf of all the children, betrayed by a system supposed to care for them.
It was like a stamp of approval that, hey, they're finally acknowledging me, someone like me. And hopefully, you know, through this, they can acknowledge all the others, MBE or no MBE. They can acknowledge all the others who have suffered so greatly, who are still suffering in pain.
After decades of keeping silent, Alex Wheatle says he'll stay quiet no longer. With other survivors of abuse, they'll keep telling their stories until they get an inquiry they can trust, which will finally listen to what they have to say.